Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let me do the intro. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome to Spank.
Hello, and welcome to the Spank Me If I'm Wrong podcast. I'm Judah Lag, and to give a little bit of a description of what this podcast is about, I'll give a description of myself first. So I'm a mediocre guy, just kind of chilling with a comfortable lifestyle. But on this show, I'll be debating with someone who believes that they are on the opposite side of the spectrum with opposite opinions of me. Charles.
Hello, my name is Charles Spank. I am at the absolute bottom of the barrel. I'm at rock bottom. A lot of people think that I have controversial opinions. They think that I am off my rocker. And Judah and I are going to debate. We're going to see which man stands the strongest in the battlefield.
For our first episode, we've decided to talk about lifestyle, like cleanliness, modesty, and just overall general quality of life in your home. Charles, go ahead and start us off with the first opinion.
All right, the first topic is going to be about chores. And chores are good, you know, people want to keep a clean house, but I think that the most ridiculous chore is dusting. I don't think that dusting is necessary. I think that it's a scheme by the government to tear families apart, and it's ridiculous. I don't think that people need to dust, if I'm being honest.
Well, I would agree with you if you said not dusting as much as people say. Like, I know some people who are like, you should dust your house at least once a week. And in my opinion, unless you live in like a big household, like with many family members and many pets, I really think like maybe once every 2 weeks to once a month is adequate. But never, that's just, that's too far for me. I would be sneezing and coughing every time I stepped into my household.
Do you know why you're sneezing and coughing? Because
Why?
Your body has not built up an immunity to the dust. The reason people are getting sick is because it's the same thing with, you know, flu shots, vaccines. They literally pump the things that you're allergic to into your body so you build an immunity. So why on earth would you get rid of the dust? And it's not like it's affecting anybody. No one's looking at the top of your ceiling fan. Nobody cares about the dust. You know, it feels cleaner when you dust it. But in reality, does it really matter? No, not really. Ignorance is bliss in this situation.
No, I don't think ignorance is bliss in this situation because it may start out that way. You may be living just a fine life where you never have any responses to how dirty your house is. How dusty, I should say. But then the symptoms start stacking up. Then you're constantly sneezing, even outside of weather spikes. You're getting sick, like the cold or the flu. Or maybe like you're even having more serious illnesses that you just can't explain. And I'm not saying that like dust is the reason for like many major illnesses, but when you don't take care of something like that, it could most likely lead to that. And also, biologically, that's not how it works. The way that they respond in your bloodstream is completely different to allergens.
All right, well, like I said, whenever you start to build an immunity to things, over time, you will not start sneezing. In the beginning, just like anything else, the beginning is the hardest part. I just don't think it's necessary. Like I said, nobody's searching the tops of your cabinets. No one's looking on top of your of your ceiling fans. Nobody's looking around. And if they are, they're in my house. I can kick them out if I want. It's not that big of a deal. And if the rumor goes around that says Charles Spank's house is dirty, well, what's wrong with it? It has some dust on the ceiling. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to spread that quickly. On the cleanliness.
Well, before we move on, I just want to comment about that, and I have an example as well. So to comment on what you just said, here's the thing. Like, I'm not really like a huge appearance guy. I do think that we should have like somewhat of a public appearance, especially if you're like a Christian or someone who holds some beliefs of high standard. Like if you're trying to exhibit those religious beliefs, but you're not mimicking it with your lifestyle, like then it kind of makes you look like a hypocrite. So for instance, laziness, and if your house just looks like a haunted mansion off of like a cartoon or something like Scooby-Doo, because you're not dusting the cobwebs or getting the dust off your cabinets, then that shows the type of lifestyle and appearance that you have. So like it's a negative appearance. Now, I'm not saying that it's a sin, and I don't even know a religion that would be like if you don't dust specifically, you're sinning. But like it's more of like an appearance of how you want your religion to be perceived and how you want your lifestyle to be perceived. But going back, I just thought of an example. So about building an intolerance or building an immunity. So like I've had a tree nut allergy my entire life. If I eat a pistachio, my throat will swell up, and I'll get hives, and I'll die. I'll asphyxiate. But like I asked my doctor later in life, I said, what if I were to reintroduce these foods back into my system, like pistachios? And like I took a little bit of a pistachio and I tried to like build up and work my way up to an immunity. And she said, no, it just doesn't work that way. You're just going to have an allergic reaction. And then your allergic reactions, you may not notice your allergic reactions as often, but it'll get so bad. Like, you're basically masking the allergic reaction. And once you start reintroducing like whole grains of pistachios or whole nuts, or then what might happen is I can go into shock and I can die from shock.
All right. Well, first of all, you know, I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't think that we need to listen to the guy with the nut allergy. You know?
Okay.
But I don't know if it's the same thing with peanuts or tree nuts or whatever it is. Whenever they go to fix a peanut allergy, that's literally what they do. They give you small amounts, and then they'll even see how much your body can handle. But regardless, talking about dusting and stuff, you said that if somebody or people need to have a good outwards appearance, and they need to not be lazy, they need to have a lifestyle that kind of showcases that they're a clean person, that they're a high value person. So, I mean, dusting is such a minimal thing. Would you not say that? Imagine if someone was like very, very avid on dusting, but they ate junk food all the time. They never went to the gym. They did not know how to talk to anyone. They didn't have any social skills. I think that there are more important things than dusting. And I think that I think on the scale of things, if someone never dusted, but they worked on every other aspect of their life, it would be a better position than someone who's socially awkward, not in good shape, has bad eating habits, bad financial habits, but they didn't dust.
I think that's fair to say.
Worry about.
I think that's fair to say that you do need to focus on the larger aspects of your life. Like, for instance, if you were an amazing duster and you were nitpicking someone else for their dusting, but you had other qualities of your life that were lacking, then obviously you're in the wrong. And here's the thing: people who nitpick about dusting, I think that's just so cringe anyway.
So you.
I don't nitpick about dusting.
Yeah,
I just think no, I don't. But like, I do think like it is an obligation. And here's the thing: it starts out. You are right. It is minimal, but it starts out minimal, and then it gradually gets worse and worse. Like anything. So like overeating. Like if I overate maybe on Fridays and Saturdays only, and then I fasted throughout the week, then like that person who does that may look healthy, but gradually they may be getting worse and worse. Like, and they start building up like an ignorance. They're like, well, like I don't feel anything when I do it on Fridays and Saturdays. So what if I start overeating on Sundays, and then now Mondays, and then Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and so on and so forth. And then now they're overeating every day of the week because they didn't see it as a bad thing in the beginning, and then it just gradually got worse. So in my opinion, I feel like that's the same as dusting. Like I don't care if you freaking go like 3 months without dusting, but like,
so I win.
Like, so like if it gets to a point where it's like so bad that your house is literally like so congested that you can't have guests over, or it's so bad that like if I open up a cabinet, it's gonna look like I just picked up some sand and just blew it. Then yeah, like I think that's bad.
But why are you living to impress other people? That's my question.
For me, it's for health. I mean, like I do have somewhat of an appearance as a Christian, but if like someone makes up a belief about me, or if someone falsely identifies me, or even if someone tries to attach a label to me that I just don't exhibit, then I'm not going to care. But like if I'm saying like I'm a clean person, and then I go out in the public and one of my friends who knows me as a non-clean person says, hey, this dude's not clean, then yeah, it's going to put like a bad spotlight on me. Like, oh, I'm a liar and I'm not clean.
Yeah, but I think that's like an issue in itself. I don't like if someone asks me, "Are you a clean person?" I would just tell them no. If someone asks you, Are you a clean person?" You tell them yes. I don't think that I don't think that the issue is whether or not like if someone says they're a clean person and they're not freaking clean, then that's on them. That's their own issue. But regardless, I think that if I never dusted my house, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And if someone asks if someone asked me if I did everything right except for dusting, cleanliness wise, and someone asks, "Are you a clean person?" I would still say yes. I don't think anyone wouldn't say yes. I don't think anyone would say, "Yeah, but I don't dust."
Well, I think we're hitting a good part in the argument where we can move on. I think this is an agree to disagree moment. We've both said quite a bit of examples.
I think I win. You just forfeited.
I don't forfeit, but we got to get to the next topic.
Oh, we got to get to the next topic. Okay, I just won.
Okay, whatever. If you want to win about dusting, let's get on to the next.
Bro, I'm winning this next one. I'll tell you that much right now.
All right, fine.
What's the next one?
All right. Let's move on. So, how about does waking up in the morning make you a better or healthier person?
Nope.
Why?
Let's say you have someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day, and you actually see this with older people who say the youth today they don't wake up at the butt crack of dawn. They don't wake up at 3 a.m. What time do you think those people go to bed? They go to bed at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. If I woke up at 12 in the afternoon, I would still be up the same amount of hours as them. I just would be waking up later. There's no, and you could still do the same amount of stuff in the same amount of time. Unless you want to like watch the sunset or you do a lot of outside things where you want a little bit of cooler weather, then I don't think it makes you more productive because you're up for the same amount of hours.
So I slightly agree with you. I don't think waking up in the morning makes you a good person. I don't think I don't think it exemplifies like a peak human. But I do think there is a healthy connection to it. And I'll be honest, I've been on the overnight shift before. I've done third shift. I've done weekend shifts, and I feel unhealthy when I'm going into the late night, and I feel groggy, and I've never felt good doing those shifts. But when I'm doing an afternoon, evening shift, or morning shift, I honestly feel better, and I feel like I can do more. Like whenever I fix my sleep schedule and I start waking up at like 5, 6, or 7 a.m., I feel like I take advantage more of the day. Plus, when I'm doing the overnight shifts and I'm sleeping during the day and I'm awake at night, all my friends are asleep, number one. And number two, all the stores are closed. So like if I want to go to like a doctor, let's say, or like an appointment, I have to break my sleep cycle to wake up during the day in order to go take care of groceries, appointments, and so on and so forth. So like I feel like it's like a not necessarily good lifestyle that leads to an unhealthy lifestyle.
I don't think there's anything necessarily unhealthy about it. I think the only unhealthy thing would be that you're not getting any vitamin D. If someone's argument was, "Oh, I want to wake up earlier because,"
so there is an unhealthy aspect.
I think that's the only unhealthy aspect. I think the rest of it is just.
Vitamin D is a pretty necessary nutrient.
Well, I work overnights, and for a year, and I'm not dead. And I don't feel any different than whenever I started. I actually feel better because my sleep schedule catered more towards the nighttime than the day. On my other job, I'd have to go to work at 11, and I was going to bed at 5 o'clock. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, I feel better whenever I'm on the overnights, and I don't feel any negative health things. I think if you like broke down my body and you looked into the very minor details, maybe I'm not getting enough vitamin D. But regardless, I think that most of it that you talked about is more of like a mentality thing. Like if someone truly wanted to go to the store, they can still go to the store. They're just going to be a little tired. Or
for me though, I think it's more of a consistency thing than it is like a health thing. Like I've noticed I have a terrible sleep schedule, so like it's almost hypocritical for me to be commenting on this.
I win.
But like I noticed that when my sleep schedule is consistent, I feel healthier and I feel better and I feel stronger. If I'm going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, not necessarily saying that it's like this during the day or during the night, because it usually flip-flops between the two. But when I'm consistent, I feel healthier. However, I do think the lack of vitamin D kind of puts a bad view on that topic.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Okay, look up placebo effect.
Why?
That's dang placebo. I can think the same thing about nights. I feel better whenever I wake up during late at night because it's so peaceful. Nobody's bothering me.
No, it's not placebo because I've done the night shift before too, and I felt worse.
But you didn't do it consistent. If your thing's consistency, you didn't do it consistently. In the beginning, I felt bad during the night shift because I had to stay up for 12 hours a night, overnight until 6 a.m., which I wasn't used to. But consistently, whenever I did it, I feel fine.
Has there ever been a day where you had to wake up earlier than normal, and then like not only did you have to wake up earlier than normal in order to go do that thing, but then you had to go work a 12-hour shift after that?
Yeah.
Didn't that make you feel sick?
Yeah, but if I told someone on the day shift, if I told them you're going to have to wake up earlier in the morning, I didn't feel sick, but I just felt tired. If I told someone on the day shift who also works 12 hours, you're going to have to wake up a couple hours before, let's say 3 hours before, so you can get these things done. Then you're going to have to turn around and you're going to have to work the 12 hours. They would also be tired. And to put it into perspective, that would be the same thing as them waking up at like 2 a.m. and then having to work to 6 p.m. at night. It doesn't.
When would a day shift person have to go work the night shift, or like have to work the overnight shift in order for that to happen? Like I just usually like at my job when they need somebody on second shift or third shift, they pull somebody from the weekend shift. They're like, "Hey, you're already working this schedule. Do you want to come do extra hours?"
Are you saying within the job or like in general?
Yeah, like I can see someone. I could see someone in your situation being on the night shift, having to wake up early for doctor's appointments and grocery runs and stuff like that. But I can never see somebody, not never, but I can. It's less likely for someone in my scenario who goes to bed consistently and at night to wake up early.
Let's say they didn't have to do something, but let's say they woke up at 2 a.m. and they couldn't sleep and they're on their phone until they worked. You know, they're still going to be tired. I mean, the situations are, I mean, that could happen to someone on night shift too, but the situations are different. Like typically, I mean, more than likely, they're not going to have to wake up because they have to go to the doctor.
I mean, let's think about like a sound mind person, like someone who's like has a very strong willpower and they could like snap their fingers and go to sleep, you know? And like, they're like, so we'll take this person and we'll put them on first shift. Like, all right, I got to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning and go to my 7 a.m. job. So they're doing their normal schedule. And then we take this same person and then ask them to switch to third shift. And they have to do the overnight shift. Then let's say that they like, quote unquote, get used to it. And then for whatever reason, they have to like book a doctor's appointment or go do a grocery run and then break up their sleep. Like, even though they have that strong willpower where they can sleep at any moment, but now they have to be awake longer for obligations. So I feel like that's one aspect of the unhealthy side. Another aspect being vitamin D. And honestly, another aspect is your social life. It kind of, like I mentioned earlier, where all my friends are asleep when I'm awake. So it kind of takes away that social life, and you're not like stimulating your social responsibility to go talk to people, you know?
Well, first of all, I think we're talking about stuff that doesn't matter again. Like vitamin D does not really matter if you don't think about it.
Okay.
It's going to tap into the placebo effect where if you're really, really worried about your vitamin D, that person's probably going to be in a worse situation than someone who doesn't care about their vitamin D. I don't care about my vitamin D, and I do the same things that everyone else does. Now, with the social life, you can go on freaking. You can go talk to cam girls. You can go. I'm not gonna keep that in. Can I keep that in?
If you want. You're editing, so
you can find people. I mean, like, is that okay with you if I put that in?
I mean, if you want to admit that
I do not talk to cam girls. I'm just saying, like,
if you want to admit that, like, that is healthy and that's arguable, then you can.
I'm saying, like, you don't. I mean, if you really want to talk to someone, if it's really that bad, then you can do that. Is it the best idea? Probably not. But I mean, if you really, really, really
So you
need to
admit
talk
that
to
it's
somebody,
not the greatest idea.
yeah, but I don't think that's like, I don't think that's a main issue people need to be worried about. I don't think that like, oh, I haven't talked to anybody in 5 days.
Well, it's another one of those things where it builds up. Like where you're like, well, it's not hurting me right now to be alone, so it's probably not going to hurt me later to be alone. So then later comes and you're like, man, I wonder why I'm so freaking depressed. And then you're not even thinking about the fact that that you have zero social life and that you haven't interacted with anybody because of your schedule.
I don't think
your
that's
sleep
necessary.
schedule. Well,
I don't think it's necessary. People, it's not going to kill you.
it has killed some people.
Not talking to people.
Not talking to people yet.
Not talking to, so they dropped dead because they were not talking. They didn't talk.
No. You're talking about physically. I'm talking. There have been people who've died. They're like, actually, with the solitary confinement, people go insane. They have mental breaks.
You talk to people at work. It's like you have some interaction.
Yeah, but it's different though. It's different, like because like sometimes your work friends are not going to be your outside friends, you know, and it's hard to have work friends because there's a chance if you like talk to your work friends about like private stuff, then that it can be used against you in your workplace.
And that's why you got to pick and choose.
Right, but so you've got a pond, which is your workplace. You've got your pond of all your friends, and then when you're outside of work, you've got an ocean. Like you've got a small well to choose from.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Like, imagine someone hadn't talked to anyone for a year, and they're like no one at all, and they were like, man, I just really want to talk to somebody. I'm depressed. I just any human contact would be good. You then spawn in another person. And the person says, hi, how are you? And they go, I'm good, how are you? You take that person away. That's going to fulfill them, like, just a little bit, you know?
No, so it's not going to fulfill them a little bit.
It's going to be better than what they had. It's going to be better than nothing. So now imagine someone in a better position who doesn't see their friends every single day, but they're at work almost every single day, and they have actual conversations with their coworkers. You know, I think that's, like, going to fill them enough to where it's going to be okay.
No, I still think like taking away the social aspect is unhealthy. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure there's people out there on third shift who have a humongous social life. I'm not saying that every third shift person doesn't have a social life, but I'm just saying personally, all my friends and all the activities that I enjoy kind of involve sunlight and like 9 to 5 hours. So if I switch to the third shift, I'm going to have to make new friends and now find new activities that would work in the dark or on that schedule.
Okay, why don't you make new friends?
Because I'm not on that shift.
I mean, like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try? That's another mentality thing. Like, I mean, if you really want to make new friends, there's nothing really stopping you from making new friends.
I mean, I would, but like, I like playing disc golf, and it's hard to play disc golf in the dark.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Playing in the dark or disc golf?
Playing disc golf.
No. That's another argument for another day. Let's move on to the next topic. Third and final topic. All right, I'm thinking about one. Washing your hands.
You don't need to do it,
bro. What?
You don't need it. Like it's like it's unnecessary. You can if you want.
Unnecessary.
If you want to, you can, but it's not like it's gonna kill you if you don't.
All right. You're at a chicken restaurant.
It's gonna be another thing where
you're at the chicken restaurant. You're at a chicken restaurant, and the cook doesn't wash his hands as he's preparing your chicken, and he hands it to you.
Does he tell
me?
It's
not gonna kill you,
hands?
Huh?
Does he tell me he didn't wash his hands?
Okay, let's say he's being malicious. No, he didn't tell you.
In what situation with the cook or with the freaking person who cooks and say, "I didn't wash my hands"? By the way, I think if they were malicious, they would tell you.
I see. Well. I don't know.
So I win.
No. Okay. The cook is not malicious, but he put his hands all over the raw chicken. And then when he cooked it, he used his hands to scoop it and put it on your plate. You're telling me that's not going to kill you?
No, that is not going to kill you. Because they do that in restaurants. That's not going to kill you.
I mean,
especially if you don't know.
You would know if you got really sick. Like, salmonella sucks. Like, it's not going to kill you. But, like, you could get other things. Like H. pylori. You could get E. coli. You could get
Are those things permanent?
E. coli, I think, is permanent.
Is that going to kill you?
I think E. coli can kill you. I don't know. I mean, I know that people who have E. coli are not usually in great situations.
Can E. coli kill? Okay, let's say it can kill you. Okay.
Okay.
But okay. Let's take that example. Let's take the cook example. Okay. So, what is the meal that the cook prepares with the raw chicken?
It doesn't matter, because if he touched the raw chicken, then he cooks the chicken, then he touches the cooked chicken with his raw hands, unwashed hands, then he
can just wipe them off.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It does work like that.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so for the chicken, the bacteria would be killed whenever you cook it. As for your hands,
but you're not cooking your hands though. So how the hell?
You swipe it off.
No, fool. That's not how that works.
That is that. I don't understand how.
Wiping your hands.
That's what okay, think about this. I don't wash my hands. I shake people's hands. The next time I see them, they're not sick.
Because we wash our hands. I wash my hands like 4 or 5 times a day.
Also, you shower.
Yeah, I shower.
I shower too.
Okay, so technically you wash your hands when you shower.
I'm saying like the extra, like the not like
right,
technically
so
washing my hands.
We're on a road trip.
We're on a road trip
and you poo in a gas station, and the next time that you shower, huh?
I'm not washing my hands.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, okay.
That's disgusting.
I've touched you after that's happened before.
I know, and that's disgusting.
I've done a lot of things.
That's sick. That's actually sick.
I've gone pee, and I've touched you, and guess what? You're still living and breathing, and I never washed my hands.
That's sick, though. That's disgusting.
But do you see? You're proving my point. Now you know it's a big deal. In the moment, you didn't know, and you could have lived the rest of your life never knowing, and you would be completely fine.
Okay, so like if you shook one of your other friends' hands who also didn't wash their hands, and then they freaking, let's say that you had a salad or you had something with E. coli on it, and then you just spread the freaking fecal matter onto his hands, and then he eats something. Now you have unintentionally gotten him sick. And vice versa.
First of all, it's not going to kill him, and second of all, if he doesn't know, it's not going to. He's going to be in a worse position if he knows. You know how many times I've gotten I was on the verge of getting sick, but I just like ignored it. I just like acted like I wasn't sick, and then my body believed that it wasn't sick.
Okay,
it's called placebo.
If I took somebody and I infected him with the zombie virus, right, and I just threw him in public.
Yep.
And I'm the only one who knows where the zombie is, but I couldn't care less. If he intentionally or unintentionally infects people, is it my fault or is it the zombie's fault that I infected?
I think that's a bad analogy. It would be your fault that it's infected, but I think a better analogy would be...
even though you have a strong immune system and you could be a carrier because you're not washing your hands, and you give somebody with a lesser immune system sick... Whose fault is it? Yours or his? Who got sick?
I think it's his immune systems. But a better analogy for the zombie would be whether or not you told people or not. And then when you tell people, so let's say you drop the zombie off in the middle of town and you didn't tell a single person. The people are going to live their lives like normal. Now, if you tell them,
because they're going to start dropping like flies.
No, I'm saying, but if the initial, before the first bite, before anyone knew. Let's say it took let's say you hid the zombie. Let's say you hid the zombie in a random spot. No one knew, you did not tell anyone. Everyone would live their life like normal. If you told somebody and you said...
Except the person who accidentally wanders in, which in the other analogy would be the person with the weaker immune system.
No, it would be... I'm saying like people would start freaking out over...
No, listen. In your analogy...
Yeah.
In your analogy, with your version of the zombie analogy, like... You're telling me that I hid the zombie, and if somebody wanders in and gets bit, it's still not your fault, even though you didn't tell anybody.
For me I was the person who dropped off the zombie?
Yeah, you hid the zombie, and then the person accidentally wandered into that spot with the zombie and then gets infected.
And they can run.
Well, what if they don't? Wrong place, wrong time.
And cut off their arm.
So the immune compromised person who you spread your freaking E. coli to.
Yeah.
Whose fault is that? Wrong place, wrong time.
Let's say, I mean, the thing is like we're using analogies. Like this is real life. I've never made someone sick because.
How do you know though? How do you know?
Because I see them the next day.
How do you know that you've never given somebody salmonella, E. coli, or hepatitis?
Because first of all, I don't have hepatitis.
How do you know? You don't go
How
to
do
the
I know?
doctor.
Because guess what? Well, the thing is, like with hepatitis or anything, if let's say I'm exhibiting symptoms of hepatitis, and I'm like, oh, maybe I have hepatitis, I wouldn't go to the doctor, because if I go to the doctor and they diagnose me with hepatitis, they're going to confirm. Yeah, they're going to confirm it, and then now I definitely have hepatitis. You know, if I just, oh, maybe I have hepatitis, I don't actually have hepatitis until I'm diagnosed with hepatitis. So that's the thing. Like, let's say I went to the doctor tomorrow and I had hepatitis. Up until this point, I mean, everyone who's ever encountered me must be very, very lucky, because no one has ever gotten sick. No one has ever talked to me and said, I have hepatitis.
Well, we're also lowering the chances because you shower. Like when you shower, the bar soap is making contact. I mean, unless you have like another limb that's like washing your body, or unless you're one of those drip shower. Okay, if you're a drip shower, I have less faith in you.
That's all me.
No, it's not. You just freaking shower your head and let the soap drip through your crack.
Sometimes. No, not actually. I mean, I think I take.
I believe you. You like to drip shower.
I'm gonna start drip showering. I'm gonna show you. You think I'm an unclean person? I'm gonna show you like true uncleanliness. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna shower.
I don't think you're.
I'm not gonna wash
my
hands. I'm not gonna wipe my butt. I'll show you. If you really want to get into it, I could take off all the aspects of my cleanliness. I could not wash my hair. I could not use freaking deodorant. I could not use cologne. I could not wash my clothes. I could not clean my house. I could not brush my teeth. I could do all those things, and you will see the difference in me now. Me not washing my hands as an extra step. Like, I think that showering is enough.
Oh, okay, on a day-to-day basis, I don't think it's like a humongous deal. Like I still think it's like gross, and I don't want to be close to. I don't want to be close to your.
If you are still
I don't want to be like. I don't want to be like close to your hands, but like okay, like it. The worst situation that I could see it in is like we're like literally hanging out the entire day, and we don't take a break to go take a shower. The only chance that you have to go get somewhat.
Well, like, how does that affect you? And how does it affect me? Actually, I've had those.
How it affects you is when you pick something up from a. It's just I'm not saying that it like has a like 100% effect. You know, like I'm not saying like it has a guarantee. Okay, it does not have a guaranteed effect. Like you could probably go your entire life without washing your hands, and everything would be fine. However, you could probably also go your entire life without showering and infect somebody, or not showering, I mean washing your hands, and infect somebody because of your laziness. Anybody. Yeah, I mean like if you freaking touch a door handle where some patient zero sneezed on, and then you touch me or someone else, or you touch somebody who's immune compromised, then you've just gotten that person sick. You've almost guaranteed that that person's going to get sick because you don't wash your hands. Now, I who wash my hands 4 or 5 times a day, I could still get you sick because because of the timing. However, the fact that you wash your hands less or even never increases the chances that you're going to get someone sick, including yourself. Which obviously you don't care if you get sick, but I care if I get sick if you touch me and the freaking dirty gas station bacteria.
Obviously, you don't care too much about the dirty gas station bacteria because the study that's like your phone's dirtier than your toilet.
Well, let me go ahead and stop you. I spray alcohol on my phone.
Okay. Do you do anything with the doorknobs?
I mean, I like clean my house. Like what doorknobs? Like doorknobs in like other buildings that I don't.
In your house, do you wipe off the doorknobs?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like how often?
I mean, as like regular as when I clean, it just depends. I'm a pretty clean person. I don't have to clean that often.
Okay, well, like I said, like I mean, there's like okay, so regardless, like okay, let's say because I think that the issue is like you're so worried because it's like direct contact. Let's say you go to and like you think I'm gonna make you sick because it's like oh my gosh, he doesn't wash his hands and it's gonna directly touch me, but you don't think about the subcategories off of that idea. Like if you go to a restaurant and you walk into the host stand and you put your arms on the counter, how many people do you think put their arms on the counter? If you go out to go do something and you have to open the door, how many people do you think touch the door handle? If you go sit down, How many people do you think sat in that seat? You know, there's
Well,
so many
it's like
different
a
things.
reliance. It's here's the thing. It's like a not only is it like your diligence as a person, as how clean you want to be. If you want to get yourself sick by not washing your hands, that's totally fine. But the thing is, you're possibly getting other people sick by not washing your hands as well. For instance, like
But I
if
wouldn't
the
know.
only time that you washed your hands was with your friends, I'd be okay with that, because at least you're keeping us in mind. But the fact that
Has
you
any of my
never
friends gotten sick from me not washing
not
my hands?
not yet,
And I've known my friends for years.
not yet,
So you think one day it's just gonna be like, oh, I'm
not
sick?
yet, not yet, not yet.
So you think one day it's just gonna be, oh, I'm sick all of a sudden?
You never know. You never know.
I do know. The evidence points to that.
Okay, if a hepatitis patient did not wash their hands and they were an active person in your friend group, would you not be a little bit concerned?
I would say, well, I mean, it's been this long and I haven't gotten sick. I mean, I don't really freaking care. I wouldn't make it a thing where I can actively get out of their way. Because if, let's say they were like, yeah, I've had hepatitis for a year. Okay, I have lived life with them for a year and nothing has happened. So guess what? I will continue to.
But you're living off the fact that nothing has happened. I live on the idea that something could happen, and I live a prevention life, and you live. I don't know. You live a life that it's like, well, I'm currently okay, so I will be okay in the future.
I'll be honest with you. Something happens still. I'd be like, let's say they gave me hepatitis. I'd be like, well, I guess I got hepatitis now. You know, what am I going to do? If I keep getting in contact with that person, it's not like I'm going to get like mega hepatitis. It's like, what am I going to do? Like, I mean, regardless, even if I got someone sick, what am I going to do? If I got myself sick. And I'll tell you this is a little behind the scenes. I've had people, I've deep.
Why are we going behind the scenes?
No, I'm saying like of my life. Like I've deep cleaned my entire house. Mm-hmm. And I get sick because my body is used to living in a dirty environment.
That's cap.
I'm dead serious.
No, There's no way.
Every time that I deep clean my house to where I can smell mostly chemicals, like from the washer, the whatever you use, like from the stuff that you clean up with, like cleaning chemicals, I feel a little sicker.
That sounds like you have an allergic reaction to the chemicals. That doesn't sound sound like the cleanliness is killing you. That smells like chemicals.
Because my body is so actively used to fighting against
How do
things.
you know that? How could you say that with a scientific affirmation? Like how could you say that so
you think that I'm allergic to every single cleaning chemical?
No. I didn't see that. Now you're going to the farthest extent. I didn't say that either.
No, you're like,
I'm saying that you could.
I use different cleaning chemicals for different things in my house, in my car, wherever I am.
Okay, but when you clean,
I don't get sick, but I get like stuffy.
I mean, you could still have a minor allergy to one of the chemicals that you're using.
Every single chemical.
Okay, when you clean, do you clean everything in one day, or do you clean like bits and pieces?
Everything in one day.
Okay, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You could be allergic to one of the chemicals that you're using because.
No, because if I'm in my car, I don't use the same I don't freaking use the same stuff that I use in my house.
So you're telling me you clean your car and your house on separate days, but you still get sick in both scenarios?
Yes, not like sick, but like I get like stuff.
Cap.
Okay, I could do the same thing. Like I don't believe that me not washing my hands is gonna make you sick. If you gave me an argument why, I could just say cap if that's gonna be your argument.
You're telling me no. I'm not saying cap.
You don't think that I get sick or
what I'm saying cap to is I'm saying cap that you get sick when you clean your house. That's what I'm saying.
I get stuffy, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that that is a bald-faced lie.
And
when your house is clean,
I'm never one to over-exaggerate. Like I'm not like, oh, I need to call off work. I feel freaking sick. I've worked in bad conditions, so like I'm not one. I'm one to like say like when I'm feeling a certain way. You know, if I like every time I've cleaned, yes, I get stuffy every single time that I've cleaned. But guess what? You will never know, and you can continue to say cap because it's never happened to you. It's never happened to anybody else because no one has lived the life that I live. No one doesn't actively wash my hands. No one actively keeps a dirty house.
If you want to prove a point, I need more evidence. So what I'm saying is there's absolutely no way that the level of cleanliness is what's causing your sickness. Now, it could be the chemicals. It could be that you stirred up the dust. Maybe you're not.
You're
Maybe you're
saying
not a
there's
good. Maybe you're not a good
absolutely
cleaner.
no
The way that
possibility.
you describe your lifestyle, it doesn't sound like you're a really good
I've
cleaner
had
anyway.
people clean for me who are
And
good
then
cleaners, and you're telling me that there out of all there is not a possibility. The possibility isn't even there that my immune system is so used to fighting off bacteria to whenever there's a situation where it doesn't need to fight off anything, it doesn't know what to do. So then it triggers a thing saying, I don't know what to do. We're in trouble. You're saying there's no possibility of that.
no, but
Okay, then why is it such a freaking big?
no, I think no. I do not believe that the level of cleanliness is what's hurting you. However, to actually affirm you for a second, I've been like on and off sick with these things in these last couple of months, and once I figured out one of my sicknesses and I cured it, I was like good for like a week or two, and then I got sick again, but with different symptoms. And what I think my body was doing is it was like it like took a break. It was like, oh, thank goodness we got rid of that one symptom. By the way, here's something else that's going on. And then finally it like recognized the other sickness. So maybe when you clean your house, your body's like, finally, we can stop fighting. By the way, you've got this other underlying issue that we need to tell you about now that we're not struggling for our life in this freaking cesspool bedroom. now that we actually have a chance to breathe because you actually washed your freaking hands, we need to tell you that you've got another issue in your body right now.
Think about this, like, okay,
and that's a personal example.
Okay, here's a personal example. Okay, let's you're not believing that this is true, but guess what? Like I said, you can't prove me wrong because you're not going to live my life. It's
okay. When you come over to my house, do you feel sick? Or what about when you walk into the hospital, the doctor's office? Do you get sick because they're sterilized?
No, I'm saying
that's cap. See, that's how I know it's cap, because if you don't get sick, the way that you get sick at your house when you go into a hospital or when you go into a sterilized room.
I'm not there for long term. I'm there in and out. It takes a second for me to freaking get sick, quote unquote sick, in my house. It's not like I clean the house and I'm like, holy cow, this house is clean. I get sick. No, it's like it builds up. Like I bet if I was in the hospital for a long time, maybe I would get sick. I don't know.
Charles,
but guess what? You can never prove me wrong. It
only takes a couple of hours for you to start creating dust, like skin flakes. And if you have an animal, it's going to double the amount of dust in that time as well. So like you can never get a room like perfectly clean.
Okay, think about this. Do you remember the Liver King?
Yeah.
Okay, whenever he said, "I'm not on steroids," you had no choice but to believe it, because his evidence was, I live like our ancestors. I live like a caveman. I eat raw meat. I go out and I hunt myself. He was doing all that. No one's gonna do that to prove him wrong. Like no one could achieve that body because no one could achieve that body with those results because no one was willing to do it. So you kind of had to take him for his word.
Then they proved him wrong.
Yeah, they proved him wrong, but I'm saying like his claim. The reason why no one ever.
No, this is a terrible example.
That is not a terrible example because whenever people. No, you're an idiot. They figured it out because his documents got leaked. I'm not saying that it was true.
I just leaked your documents. If you don't get the same when you walk into a hospital as when you do in your quote-unquote clean house.
No, I'm saying that they could not prove him wrong because no one would live that lifestyle. If you started to live my lifestyle and then you cleaned your entire house, if you lived it actively for a year and then you cleaned your entire house and then you didn't get sick, and you did that over the course of time, multiple times to prove that you wouldn't get sick, then maybe that would be the case. But also, your whole thing is everyone's different. I could be a different case than you. So really, you couldn't prove me wrong.
Here's the thing. You just proved my point with your statement about hospitals. And
I just said that I'm not in a hospital for long enough. It takes me a second
but like almost as soon as you clean, you start dirtying your house. You go outside and you bring dust in. You open windows. Couch.
I did not open the windows. I sit on the couch and
so you're telling me when you clean your house, you've never ever needed to open the door, walk outside, go into a place that could be considered dirty, or you've never gone into a dirty room and tracked dirt back into the clean room that you just cleaned. Like, there is absolutely no way, unless you're using alcohol on every single surface, that you're saying that your bedroom is cleaner than a hospital.
No, I'm saying I sit down on the freaking couch. Like, I mean, I could use the same.
according to you,
I could use the reverse and say, I could say, well, there have been some times where I didn't. I just sat on the couch. So, like, just because I did it sometimes, and sometimes I got sick during those instances, there have been some times where, guess what? I just sat on the couch and I freaking played on my phone. And guess what? Same exact thing.
With the lifestyle that you live, there's absolutely no way that you can convince me that your room or your living space is as clean as a hospital. And you're telling me that you've entered hospitals with no symptoms.
But it's not instant. It's not like the second I clean, my body's like, oh, it's clean, and then it just doesn't.
But according to your math, it should be like that. Because
no,
if we'll put like a unit on it. If like a hospital is like an 80 out of 100 in cleanliness, then probably like a normal house is going to be like 60 to 70, and your house is probably going to be like a 50.
After it's cleaned?
After it's clean, yeah. Okay, I'll be generous. Maybe the low end, the high end of. Okay, when you have people clean it, then it's like a 60. Then a 60 to 70. So by that math, you should have less reaction time and more severe symptoms when you walk into a hospital than in your house. Because unless your cleaning lady is using alcohol and using hospital grade equipment to clean your house.
If you want to bring up the hospital example, and then you also want to bring up, well, did you open the door? Did you track dirt in from another room?
No, I mean, but like
there are people in a hospital. There are people who are sick in a hospital. There are people who probably are in the same situation as me who walk into the hospital. The environment may be clean, like the stuff they use to clean the walls stuff may be clean, but people who are dirty doing the exact same things that you're asking me about, who are tracking dirt.
So at my work, we actually have like that quote unquote clean oxygen that filters the room like every 5 minutes, and it literally filters in new oxygen into the room and takes out bad oxygen. And they've even designed the rooms to have air push the dust from one side of the room to the other side of the room. I'm not saying it's 100% dust free.
I'm getting sick in your house.
I'm not saying that. So I'm not saying that like the room is 100% clean, but I'd say that room is cleaner than most houses. And even hospitals have that too. They have sterilizing chemicals in the air vents and special cleaning solutions that keep the floors cleaner for longer.
Okay, if you think
that's why I'm not giving it like a 100% because obviously it's still gonna have dirt and grime and vomit and blood and
take into account. If you think I'm allergic to chemicals, what are the chemicals used for?
Okay,
cleaning.
Counter argument: find holistic cleaning devices.
What are you talking? What is that?
Like lemon. Use lemon and baking powder. Okay, here's the thing. We're also changing the argument.
I'm gonna squirt lemon on my freaking. That's like gay. Like I might as well wear a thong.
Okay, well then I guess I'm gay because I use lemons and baking.
Lemon on your freaking when you clean.
Yeah, I'll use fresh lemons and baking powder when I clean.
That's genuine. Like that's like gay. Like.
Well, I can't help it because my alpha gal, I had to freaking use the.
Last time I touched the only people who should be touching lemons are if you're using it like for food, water, or if you're a freaking little kid like selling lemonade.
I use a lemon in a lot of my cooking.
Okay, well that's fine. You're not freaking cleaning your house with it like you're.
But lemon, the acidic properties of lemons are known to break down dirt and grime.
You would look into that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
The acidic properties of lemon are known to break down dirt.
Yes, because I don't want to use bleach that is like literally.
You know what else breaks down dirt and grime? Freaking countertop cleaner.
I know, but countertop cleaner and some of those other cleaning chemicals are pretty dangerous to use in large quantities. So one day I might use bleach, and the next day I might use baking powder. And then
dangerous in large quantities.
It is scientifically proven that large quantities of bleach can harm you, which is like a main cleaning solution in bathrooms and kitchens.
Somebody who has these scientific arguments, I would much rather have life experience.
Okay, life experience. When I use lemons, when I clean my rooms that I clean them with smell cleaner, and
it's probably because you're medically gay now. Like
medically gay.
It probably converted you.
Turn to the friggin' frogs gay.
I'm saying like it probably freaking converted you. Like
no, okay, come on now.
I'm serious. Like, it's the same thing. Like like if I got used to the bleach, like I'm not gonna get sick about the bleach.
Bro, your whole thing is getting used to this, getting used to this, getting used to that. All right. Okay. I think we've hit a wall. I think we should
we strayed away from the conversation. Let's go back to washing your hands.
You want to go back 2 conversations? No, I think we should let our viewers decide who needs to get spanked.
No, we're not deciding who gets spanked because I won.
No, you did not win. Okay, of all the arguments, I'll give you the sleeping one.
I win.
I'll give you the sleeping one.
And the dusting.
Heck no.
What do you mean? You don't even dust yourself.
Yeah, I do.
No, you just said like, oh, I'm not one to always dust.
But I do dust. Your argument is never dusting. Mine is dusting.
No, I don't think. Okay, I don't think.
No. You're taking it. What was that? Run it back.
Context.
Run it back.
I think that if you never dusted, nothing would happen. But I think if you dusted on occasion, that's fine. You can dust all you want. But I do not think it's necessary to always dust. I'm not against someone dusting, but if they never dusted... you
as a lifestyle person, are you going to dust your house after this conversation?
No, I'm not going to dust my house, but that's not going to hurt anything.
Are you going to dust your house ever?
Probably freaking not unless I turn gay.
Exactly. That my argument is that a little dusting, everyone should do a little bit of dusting, or at least have some sort of air filter.
I don't care.
Okay. Do you change your filters in your house?
I don't even know how to do that.
Bro.
No, the apartment does it for me. They've come in and done it for me.
They do it for you?
They say, like, we're changing the air filters. We'll be in it this time. And then I say, okay, I don't think that's necessary, but...
They probably hate you. They probably think, like...
Why would they hate me?
Because when they change the air filters, it's gonna show that you don't dust, because it's gonna clog up.
The air filters do that job.
No.
Okay, then what?
It only does like 50% of the job.
Okay, well, 50% in accordance to what?
So, the purpose of the air filters is to basically catch some dust from going into the AC and then coming back and spitting it back at you. But if you never dust ever, even if you change the air filters, you're just basically re-ingesting all the dust all the time.
Okay, how often do you need to dust for that not to happen?
I mean... As
much as you do, or do you need to dust
more? Like, in my opinion, I think once every 2 weeks to once a month is fine. I know some people do it more and some people do it less, but I think once every 2 weeks to a month is fine. Never dusting, or even longer than once a month, that's too far.
That's too far. You're telling me if I don't dust tonight, I'm going to drop dead by the morning.
That's not. It's always the farthest extent.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think it will most likely lower your quality of life. You're probably going to have sniffles, like sniffles, coughing, allergies.
God's easiest trial. Oh, I'm sniffling.
God's easiest trial.
You know the people who sniffle? Babies. Babies sniffle.
Nah, you're the audience is gonna come after you. You better hide your Instagram handle.
For what? They're gonna be like, he doesn't dust. I don't think anyone.
No, washing your hands. They're definitely coming after you for washing your hands. Not washing your hands.
You're canceled. You don't wash your hands. That one guy, I forgot his name, but the guy that actually genuinely had a dirty house. I forgot his name, but the
guy who smashes his gallon of bottles.
I forgot his name. Guy who doesn't clean streamer.
Yeah, the dude who pees in those milk jugs and smashes them on the ground.
I forget who it is, but he was coughing up blood one time. He wiped his mouth and he's wiped it. Oh, Asmongold. He wiped his mouth and he wiped the blood on the walls. What I'm saying is he's not dead.
Okay, but it doesn't look like he's living a good quality of life. I mean, people have watched his streams.
He's a successful streamer,
and he's losing his hair.
Okay,
his hair is thinning. Okay, and
if I started losing my hair, guess what I would think? Well, I guess it's just how it is. You'd be like, I gotta look into the symptoms on why I'm losing my hair. I gotta look for a cure. Maybe coconut oil, and maybe if I squirt some lemon on my scalp, maybe then my hair will grow back. No, you already did the damage. Who freaking cares? You're just live your life. You're gonna die at freaking in the future anyways. It does not matter.
Well, I think that's an argument for another day. Okay, let's let the audience decide. Comment on this comment down below.
Ain't nobody commenting on someone who has a nut allergy.
Okay, but they might comment on somebody with the freaking Nurgle hands.
Yeah, okay. They're not. Yeah, they'll. Guess what? By the way,
spreading pestilence and chaos.
A little behind the scenes. Are you going to listen to someone who apparently has an orderly life but has a nut allergy at the same time, or someone who lives my life and I'm completely healthy? Anyways,
I like this golf.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Spank. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, be sure to follow, comment, and share. Any way you can support two guys with a small dream fulfilling their passion helps us out. Judo made me read that. Anyways, be sure to comment any future debate ideas you'd like to see us go over. You can either comment on your podcatcher or email us at theofficialspankpod@gmail.com. We appreciate you guys and spank you later.